Well, I had some technical difficulties on getting close-ups for you on this filming, but I think you get the main gist of it. So, I took a shot in the thumbnail of the close-up. So it really does work. Now, I want to preface this with it depends on the vinyl that you're working with. On removing the holes. They're not completely done, but what it does is it seems to lift up that indentation into the hole. So the hole doesn't go away, but the indentations lift up. So all you really see is the hole. Now, if you're stitching, I'm thinking of top stitching. So if you're stitching in that area, the hole is pretty well covered unless you're like stitching next to it or on the other side. You'll see a tiny hole, but you won't see that big, huge indentation. Hopefully my hands show you a good description of what I'm talking about. So the hole will not go away, but that big dip down in, and that's what we usually see when we remove the stitches, is that huge indentation. So I think that will help you, and it really does make a huge difference. It saved me from ripping out a bag and having to redo it. And yeah. And so if you're working with like the textured faux crocs, no noticeable. If you're working with a solid, you may have a little bit more of a difference, but when, say you just have a mistake and you need to stitch back on, make sure that your stitch length is the same and you go into the same hole. And then you're gonna be safer that way. But yeah, so I mean, it's just amazing the difference when you take out all that indentation. It lifts it back up, puffs it back out, makes a big difference. So hopefully this helps. Sorry about the filming, but I'm working with new equipment. So anyway, yeah, enjoy. Okay, what you see here is I have two pieces of vinyl. I have stitched the seam. Hope I can focus. I've stitched the seam and I have taken it out. I've got holes. One has texture, faux croc, and one is smooth. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to stitch these back up. And what's likely to happen, even though I'm going to try to go over these holes, is I'm going to stitch back over this, and this is what happened to me recently. And I'm going to stitch back over this, but you're probably still going to see the holes. And then I'm going to show you what I do to make them go away. Be right back. Okay, what I decided to do here, as you can see when I sewed this, look at that, you can't see the holes. So what I decided to do is just take out the thread so you can see the holes. And then on this piece, where are they? There are some holes right down here. See, that's why I did both of them, because with texture it's really hard to tell. And I'm going to show you a finished bag that I did have holes and I got rid of them. So next I'm going to show you what I use to get rid of my holes. They don't completely disappear, but to the naked eye, it is hard to tell because I had massive holes in the bag. All right, I'll be back. All right, this is what I use. I don't know how long I've had it. This one's called the Rowenta Ultra Steam, so what you're looking at is an old version, but I'll give you a link to a newer version. And this is hot, I've got it heating up. The steam comes out here, and this plate here is really hot. And all I did was simply press the button and apply heat to this area. At the first time around, I put a piece of fabric over it because I was afraid of melting. But but that just didn't happen. I just had to keep going over it and over it and over it. So this is what I did, and I just kept doing it and checking, and the holes disappeared. Now I'm going to try it on this spot, on this, and it does take a while. I mean, it doesn't just magically go away, but they do minimize over time. My God, that went away already. Holy moly. Like I said, they don't go away as if it were cotton, but they do minimize in appearance. So if you have stitched, you know, over that area, the indentation disappears. Now look at already how much, let's see if I can get you to see that, how much smaller the holes are. You can barely see them already. It really lifts up the indentation that you created. So this is the softer leather. This is Bodio vinyl. See, I got leather on my mind. This is a Bodio vinyl. And I mean, really, if you had stitches in this area, it'd be really hard to see. So the indentations completely lift. And the other side. I thought this would be a better example when I took the stitching out of it, so that you're just looking at the naked vinyl. Look at that. I literally don't see these stitches where the stitch holes were. Now this side is a little bit, but hardly there, hardly there. Yeah, so I had, I hope I can bring the bag over to show you. I think it was on the back side or the front. So this area here, I had massive holes. What can you see? Yeah, massive holes along this section. And I mean, it was to the point where I had to remake this bag. And I was like heartbroken. And this came to mind, this machine, and you cannot see. I mean, they're not there. They're gone. So I will give you a link to the newest version of this, and you can definitely see. I mean, if you had stitching here, it would be pretty hard to see these holes, because it really does lift the indentation away, and it will save you from having to redo the bags, in my opinion. That's it. Thank you again. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so, and click on the bell. That way you get notification whenever I upload. Right now I'm trying to upload about once a week. And also click on the links below. That's where my business Facebook page is, where you can see all my bags. I love your comments. I love helping out. I also like to hear about what your input is, and if you have anything to share. This is a page about learning and growth. So my goal is really to bring on other sewists. I hope to do that soon and interview you, and I'd like to hear your stories about growth and what's helped you in sewing through the years. That's really my goal. Really look forward to hearing from you. See you all soon.